Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my monthly series Pot of Fame. We are now into a new month. November is here. I'm back home just for 3 days in between my Las Vegas work weeks as I gear up to travel to Hawaii. I thought I'd sit down, a casual plant talk, and share with you currently what is going on in the collection. This is one of my favorite series where I get to sit down and highlight a bunch of plants that are doing good in the collection. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. There's a lot going on and it's kind of interesting to see the collection go through phases as I have a crazy travel year of not really being in Santa Monica with me living part-time in Las Vegas and then traveling. I'm not really with the collection every day. Some of the plants don't mind and some of the plants do. I want to give you guys an update on my Cebu Blue. I feel like this is like a little starter plant here. I got this, I believe, at the Rose Bowl, and I had two mother plants that were nice and full. They both died, which is very awful. They just didn't like living in my studio or in the patio, and I eventually let myself get another plant again. This is like the third purchase, but this is such a small cutting compared to my huge large mother plants that I had previously in the collection. And if you watch the channels, then you know what I'm talking about. But take a look at this. It gave me some new growth here while I was away traveling and in Las Vegas, so I'm really surprised about that. So obviously it loves living by the fountain. It lives on my wooden bench in that shaded area where there's some sun but not a lot. It's definitely hidden by all of the plants and then right by the fountain. So I'm gonna continue to keep this little starter plant there. And also if you look right here, there's some new growth happening right there. So I'm pretty impressed. I definitely was stressed out about this plant, or at least thinking about it while I was traveling out of country, but I would like to say it's happy where it's at, so I'm going to continue to keep it there. Another plant that I want to share with you is my Peperonia prestata. This Peperomia string of turtles, I'm gonna give updates whenever it does anything for me because this is the second or third time I purchased this plant. It is a very expensive plant in my part of the world, and I feel like sometimes not the easiest plant to take care of. But take a look at this. It is blooming for me with its little rat tail blooms, and I see some new growth happening here. So I'm very happy to share with you this update. And this plant is living on my Tiffany blue table in my patio where it doesn't get direct sunlight, and it's doing good. So that's a very fun update for me. Kind of in the same area, I have my Sansevierias that are outside, all kind of housed together, and I am gonna be taking a few more to the Las Vegas collection just because they get trashed being out here, and Sansevierias don't mind living in the Las Vegas room. So I will take a few more. Maybe I will take this Sansevieria to the Las Vegas collective, we'll see. But I'm happy to announce, along with a bunch of my Sansevierias, which will be too much to show in Pot of Fame, that there is new growth happening. Take a look at that. I'm so excited because it rained heavy and I was kind of nervous about it, but it is doing really well. So just a very fun update, and I'm trying to think how long have I had this one in the collection. I'm not too sure because I have so many, and I feel like my goal for next year for the channel would be to do more collective videos because I know you guys love seeing the collection, and it's also interesting to see me group up the plants and talk about them, and then it kind of helps me keep track of the collection and the growth of the collection. This is a fun update. So this is an epiphytic cactus that I don't know the ID, and if you guys watch my plant hauls, Planting with Jewelyn, this was several plants and I just grouped them up together, and I feel it was definitely rescues. But take a look at the glow up. Like when I purchased all of them, it just was not happy. This is a very fun update, and then also I see some blooms happening, so very fun to see the glow up. But I'm gonna have to go through the whole collection and go through the plants one by one to see what's going on with them. But I thought I'd give you guys a little update because I see tons of new growth and blooms, and this was not a good looking plant when I got it. So you just never know, you know, if you go in plant shop or come across a plant that needs rescuing and you don't mind experimenting or trying to bring the plant back to life. That is just something fun you can do with plant life, and also be able to take plants apart and spread the plant love. So I'm very happy about that, because honestly I was really sad to see the plant at the nursery looking so sad. But yes, tons of new growth on here. So I'll go to the plant and make sure it's good to go for the rest of the season. And let's move on with my crested euphorbia. Look at this. This thing is so cool. Like really, I love anything crested, whether it comes to succulents or cacti. And this is my crested Eve's needle. Super cool, right? Take a look at it. I'm trying to think when I got this crested Eve's needle. I think it might have been from Las Vegas. But I mean, it is so cool. And I love the low bow terracotta that it's in. Lots of new growth here. I would love to take this one to the Las Vegas Collective, but I believe it's the elkhorn, the crested euphorbia elkhorn, I think. And I see this squirrel coming to drink some water. It's probably thinking, oh, this girl is finally home. She filled up the fountain. Hi, squirrel. So this one is living in the front of my home. Let's see if we can get the squirrel on the channel. Hey, squirrel. Do you want to say hi to Pot of Fame? Did you miss me? So yes, we're looking at each other. She's so cute. So yes, I'm a huge fan of anything crested. Lots of fun new growth. This cacti definitely does not mind my schedule, so I'm very thankful about that. But take a look. I love anything funky and weird when it comes to cacti. So this one is doing really good, and I thought I'd share for Pot of Fame. Okay. Battery died, so where was I? Let's share with you the update of my Thai constellation. And I shared this on a Thursday check-in, which I just filmed, but by the time this video goes live, it'll be well several weeks after. So I wanted to share with you my Thai constellation update. It is unfurling a new leaf for me, and actually it was hiding, so I didn't see it until I started to gather plants for this episode, and I noticed this new leaf coming through, and I can kind of see what the pattern looks like. So that's going to be super exciting. But the stressful thing about this plant is that it gives you browning tips. It was never like this. Now lives in the bathroom because I just travel too much, and I feel like it's going to do better in the bathroom. With this new unfurling leaf, it tells me that the plant agrees to where I moved it. But before living in the bathroom, it was living next to my Monstera albo, which is in my studio where my one window shines light right in front of the plant shelf, and it is also giving me new growth. So it's kind of interesting to see the plant giving me browning tips but then gives me an unfurled leaf. I'll share with you what my albo looks like. So this is the update, the glow up. And if you see here, let me bring it down into the frame. It just gave me a new unfurled leaf. This one just popped out, and then this one just came through while I was traveling. And if I'm not mistaken, there may be 1 or 2 more leaves coming through from this plant. So I'm very happy to report this update of my Monstera albo giving me a new leaf. Even though if it's not variegated, I'm still happy that there is a split and we have a nice healthy green leaf. So I look forward to seeing what it does for me in the next couple of months. But that is definitely a fun update and fun to see it grow, as I think I restaked it. I think it was living on a smaller stake, and then when I did my planting with Jewelyn a couple of weeks ago, restaking plants, I think this was one of them that I restaked, and it's doing really good. So those are my updates on my Monsteras. We'll talk about 2 more finicky houseplants before we wrap up today's video in the front of the house. This is the update of my pink princess philodendron, and I know I was kind of contemplating if I should take it out of its setup before traveling, because it was kind of like in this spongy type of medium, almost like those floral cubes, that the green ones that you can soak up in water. It was kind of like that kind of feeling of those little chopped up things it was growing in. But I decided to switch it over into soil. It did leave me upset coming home after traveling when 4 of the leaves on the bottom browned and died. So I'm kind of upset about that. But the leaf here is slowly unfurling. So I thought I'd give you an update on this very rare expensive plant because I only have one of it and this is my second purchase, and anytime it does anything for me on my rare plants, I will share it with Pot of Fame or on Thursday's check-in. So comment down below, what do you think about my pink princess living in soil in the bathroom? I don't know if it was a good idea to switch it out of what it was growing in, but I guess it's the chance that I'm taking, especially like it was living in such a small setup. I just felt like it was time to switch it over, and I think I had it in the collection at least for a month before I did the switch. Another plant that is living in the bathroom is my black velvet alocasia. I believe this is the black velvet. This was gifted to me, I think, in a plant trade with one of my subscribers who watches the channel, and anytime it gives a new leaf, one leaf dies. One leaf dies, it gives me a new leaf. So here we are. It's one of those alocasias that I feel like can't give multiple leaves. I know my larger alocasias that are by the fountain, it's constantly giving me new growth, but the smaller ones, I feel like if a leaf is gonna produce, one is gonna die off first. So I've never seen this plant with more than 2 leaves, which is very strange to say. Comment down below if that's the same thing for you. If you have this particular alocasia, it's very rare and expensive too. So anytime I see browning happening, and then it stresses me out, but I'm happy to come back to the collection with that new leaf about to unfurl. So let's go to the front of the house. I'm gonna share with you a very fun update which I shared on Thursday's check-in, which you would have seen by now, and then we'll wrap up today's Pot of Fame. Here is one of my mother plants, my epiphytic cactus, my rickrack or zigzag. It's very old. It's been in the collection for a couple of years. I have 2 or 3 in the collection and they all look slightly different, and I've had this one in the collection for several years, and believe it or not, if you look really good, you can see that it's giving me blooms. So you see 2 here, 1 here, and 3 there. I think that's it for now. And I've never seen this thing bloom for me, and I've had it for several years, so it's kind of interesting to see the evolution of the plant as it stays in the collection over time. But comment down below if your rickrack ever bloomed for you. I know I propagated lots of cuttings from my mother plant and sold off to a bunch of you guys, so comment down below if you purchased a cutting from me, or if you have the plant and it's ever bloomed for you and what color of the blooms are. But this is a very exciting moment for the collection, and I hope I'm in Santa Monica when it opens up so that I can dry it and make some art with it. Also wanted to give you guys an update on the jade tree. If you look here, this is so fun to come home to, but the whole tree is about to bloom for me. It blooms from November to March, so it's in the bloom season. It starts from October, and then hopefully by the end of the month we'll see it pop up. But literally the whole tree is about to give me blooms. I dry them and create art with them, and I just love this mother plant. It's so large. Let me walk back so you can see how large it is. It is so big, and I'm looking forward to another season of the blooms and creating art for the shop. And then here's another one too. Here's another Cressula ovata. I believe I got this one in Las Vegas years ago. This one is living in the front of my home, also giving me the start of new blooms. So very fun time of the year for the Cressula ovata. Before we wrap up today's video, I wanted to share with you the top of my AMAC Euphorbia variegata. Take a look at all of this new growth. So cute with its little hair. So pretty with its little hair. So pretty. So yes, that is all new growth. I'm so happy, and probably the rainwater that happened last week really helped the growth of it, but very fun to see this thing grow on me. I know I propagated 2 babies from it when I first bought it and sold it off to subscribers, so if you're one of them, comment down below how it is doing and how is it growing in your collection. But my mother plant is doing really well. So that is going to wrap up this month's Pot of Fame. Hope you guys enjoy seeing the collective and how it's doing this time of the year as we enter November and wrap up the month of October. And for the month of October, I really wasn't here with the collection as I spent a third of the month in Las Vegas and then a little over 2 weeks in Spain and Greece. So for not really being here in the month of October, the collection is doing pretty well, but there is a bunch of plants that are very dramatic. and maybe I'll talk about that at the end of the year and talk about any of the plants that were dramatic for me for 2020. Comment down below if you would like to see that. And I will be gearing up to do Planting with Jewelyn as we do another plant pageant, so stick around for that. I will be filming that with my grandma, and it'll be nice to highlight 12 plants for the year. So hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me on another Pot of Fame, and you guys enjoy seeing the collection every month as I casually sit down and share with you some updates. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads. Between the main channel and the vlog channel, you get a video each and every day. I will see you soon. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica and the collection. Bye. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. Hope you guys enjoy seeing another Pot of Fame. This Pot of Fame series of mine I've done well over 1 year. So if you are new to the channel and would like to see my monthly Pot of Fame series, go ahead and find it on the homepage of this channel. You can see my fun monthly updates with the collection, and it's just a fun way to sit down and highlight a bunch of plants as my collection is really huge. And it's nice to give updates to see what's happening throughout the plant year for me. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on another Pot of Fame. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads. Between the main channel and the vlog channel, you get a video each and every day. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye.